everyone! If you're thinking of playing Starfield at the hardest difficulty, you will need to understand the mechanics of the game in order to progress more smoothly. And the first step is understanding the stats of the armors and weapons you will find. So, let's get on it! When you look at the item's information, you will first see the name above, and below they will have two pieces of information. The mass, as in how much the item weighs, and the value, as in how much expensive the item is. These stats are very important for inventory management and how you actually make money in the game. You might find some items that have a high value, but because they weight a lot, it's not worth to carry them all the way to the vendor in order to sell. If you're trying to make fast credits, I recommend you try finding items with high value but low mass, as you are limited by how many items you can carry. Now let's talk about armors. Above they will have the name of the item. This is also where you find the information if the items are rare, epic or legendary. Below the name you'll have three primary stats. Physical, as in resistance to physical attacks. This can include melee damage as well. Then energy, as in resistance to energy weapons, like lasers for example. And then you have EM, as in resistance to electromagnetic damage. Below the three primary stats you have four secondary stats. They are Thermal, as in resistance to heat or cold. Airborne, as in resistance to aerial debris or particles. Corrosive, as in resistance to corrosive substances. And then you have Radiation, as in resistance to radioactive substances. Then below the secondary stats you have two stats that every items have, the mass and the value. The primary stats are very important during combat as they will give you more resistance to weapon damage. The secondary stats help you more with exploring the world. They provide resistances to environmental damage, as you will encounter a lot of different substances and particles that can be harmful to you. At the beginning of the game, it will be very hard to find armors that can provide equal stats. So I try to keep different types of armor in my ship's cargo hold. And when I encounter a planet that has a dangerous environment, I will change the armor to suit my needs. In case of higher grade armors like Epic and Legendary, you will find additional information below the mass and value stats. This information usually changes the entire feel of combat, as some of them are pretty overpowered. So I recommend you try hunting for this type of armors. Now let's talk about weapon stats. Same as the armor, below the name they will have the primary stat that will determine the damage of the weapon. This can be physical damage, energy damage, and electromagnetic damage. Below the primary stat you have information about the ammo, as in the different ammo types that the weapon can use, like armor-piercing rounds or explosive bullets. Then you have the mag, as in the magazine size. This shows how much ammunition you have in the mag and can shoot before reloading. The rounds, as in how much ammunition you have for this weapon. The fire rate, as in how fast the weapon can fire. The range, as in how far your weapon can shoot. And the accuracy, as in how precise your weapon is. The lower the stat of the accuracy is, the higher the chances to miss enemies when shooting at them. Below these stats you have the normal stats, as in the mass and the value. But the weapon also has a third stat here, and that is the mods. The mods represents how many modifications are available or equipped for this weapon. Now, the same as the armor, below all of these stats and depending on the rate of the items, as in epic or legendary, the weapons can have additional information that gives you more powerful attributes or stats. For me personally, understanding the stats made my experience much more easy playing the game at the hardest difficulty. I hope this can also help you get better at Starfield, and if I missed something or you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thank you, and I'm out.